Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's August 30th, 2016. In the world of pro sports, the big news is coming out of the NFL. The Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback has reportedly torn his ACL and will miss the entire season. Earlier today, I put out a video showing that this was a scripted story and part of the rigged and predetermined NFL. And since making that video, there's been a lot of trolling, a lot of negativity. What I want to show you is what a fellow subscriber noticed who heard my words. I said in this video that I put out earlier today, which I'll link in the description, I said if I looked at the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, there's probably a major clue as to why this happened today also. And lo and behold, the subscriber heard the words and made the connection. If you do not think the NFL is scripted based on what I am teaching here, you better think again. This is your second chance today to learn the truth of what's really going on in the NFL. Shaun Hill is the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and I had to laugh when I saw this because Shaun Hill used to play for the 49ers, a team I used to follow, who my dad loves, and he's just part of the reason that I know that the NFL is a joke. I can throw a football much better than Shaun Hill, and so can many grown men in this nation. Shaun Hill has a horrible arm. He throws wounded ducks. He's tall. He's 6'3". That's what he has going for him. He can run, sort of. He's tough. You know, he has some NFL qualities, but this guy cannot throw a ball. And the reason many of these athletes are in the league is not because they're the best athletes, but because they're born into families. The NFL is family run. That's why there's so many families and fathers and sons. True of all of pro sports. They're all families that are connected into this Masonic Zionist network. So let's see what Shaun Hill has to do with today and the injury. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. His birth name is Shaun Christopher Hill, gematria of 243, and today's August 30th, 2016, a leap year, the 243rd day of the year. So the starting quarterback just fell. Shaun Hill's number 2 in command. He is currently the starter of the Minnesota Vikings. And as I talked about in the first video, there's rumors that Colin Kaepernick of the 49ers might be heading to Minnesota because of this injury. If that happens, remember that Shaun Hill is a former 49er. And for all of you who are haters, I want to introduce you to this subscriber. They've only been posting at my channel for, I'm not good with time, maybe 6 weeks, probably less than that. He's the one who heard what I said. He heard me say there's probably a connection to the backup quarterback. He went out and looked and he found it right away. Here's what he wrote me. This post is thanks to him. In his post, Before Your Eyes, he talks about the things I've been discussing earlier this year, the death of Prince, the death of Denny Green, what it has to do with the Minnesota Vikings. Prince died on the 112th day of the year, April 21st, 2016. This year, the Super Bowl's in Houston. Houston equals 112. The name Bridgewater equals 112. So does Peterson. Adrian Peterson, the star running back for the Vikings, has Houston roots. But what stood out most of all about everything he caught was, again, how Shaun Hill's full name equals 243. Today's the 243rd day of the year. Taking over as the commander of the team. From his birthday to today is 234 days, and he's 36 years old right now. If you count every single number up to 36, it sums to 666. If you take the reflection of 234 days from his birthday to today, the reflection's 432. You add those numbers together, it sums to 666. That's a practice in numerology. 666 is the number of prophecy, and the madmen who code things by the numbers, who run the NFL, this is how they see their actions, as fulfilling their contrived prophecy, even things as trivial as the replacement of Shaun Hill over Teddy Bridgewater, which I imagine is temporary, because Shaun Hill he's been done for since the whole time he's been in the NFL, and at 36, he can't go much longer. I mean, he couldn't even throw the ball when he was in his prime. It's also been 33 weeks and 3 days. You know, he's supposedly from Parsons, Kansas, gematria 33. Here's what else stands out. You know, this guy points out all these parallels between him and Prince. Prince died on a date with 41 numerology this year. He performed in Super Bowl 41 that the Colts won. Andrew Luck equals 112. Horseshoe equals 112. Andrew Luck from Houston. Prince died on a date with 41 numerology, performed in Super Bowl 41. The word Super Bowl itself equals 41. So does the name Shaun Hill. And you know what I've been saying? I think the Super Bowl will be Colts and Giants or possibly Colts and Vikings. You know, this news today hurts the Vikings, but how many times in the past have you seen a quarterback go down and then a team make it to the Super Bowl? So many NFL fans are already, attacking people who've made predictions for the Vikings and saying, oh, look at you, you idiot, you're already wrong. And really, it's them who have the short memories and, they're really the fools. The NFL is a scripted league. The Minnesota Vikings might find Kurt Warner's cousin who's begging groceries at Safeway right now, and he might take them to the Super Bowl. You never know in the NFL. You know what I mean? You might get the next Tom Brady. Tom Brady, everyone thinks he's the greatest player ever. It's just because the whole league's scripted. So anyway, check this out. From the day Prince died until today is 131 days. We were talking about Prince's connection to Super Bowl. Remember, Teddy Bridgewater's full name equals 131. Super Bowl equals 131. Championship 131. When you write out 57, it sums to 131. Prince died at age 57 this year. So did Vanity. What I really think all this is about is tributes to the Super Bowl that Minnesota is hosting next year. And perhaps Minnesota might become the first team to participate in a Super Bowl in their own stadium. It's never happened. I have this up here just to remind you. Last year, 57 high school kids named after Peyton Manning. This story was up on ESPN's website for most of the year. It ran a minute 31. The last time the Broncos had won a Super Bowl was January 31st, Super Bowl 33, on a date with 33 numerology. 57, 131. These numbers are important to the game. And last point, in case you missed the first video, today has 74 numerology. Colin Kaepernick equals 74. Black Panther Party equals 74. Last year, I predicted that the Super Bowl would be won by the Broncos over the Panthers. Von Miller would be the MVP, and there'd be a Black Panther tribute at halftime. And I predicted all of this way before the Super Bowl happened. It all came true because I understand this numerical code. 49ers hosted the Super Bowl. The Black Panther Party was established in Oakland, not far away. Colin Kaepernick in the headlines. His story's all synced up with the 68 Olympics and more. Black Panther tribute in the past. All of this stuff is scripted. It's why Colin Kaepernick grew his hair out like an afro. It's all part of a big rig joke. These athletes, they go along with the lies because that's how they keep their fame and their money. What would Teddy Bridgewater be doing if he wasn't faking his ACL injury? He'd be out here with the rest of us slaving. Look at Shaun Hill. That's the perfect shot for this one. Shaun Hill. I'm so glad I learned about this Gematria Truth Seeker, because when I didn't understand Gematria and numerology, I used to ask things like, how the hell is Shaun Hill in the NFL? But now it just all makes sense. He's just a perfectly, crafted pawn piece with his whole story probably scripted to this day. See how much longer Shaun Hill's in the NFL. Shaun Hill, number 13. So for all of you, who hate, you got to tune into the truth. In case you missed the earlier video, here's what you should know. Teddy Bridgewater's injury today comes 38 days after they had Fan Day at the new stadium that they'll be playing in this year. It came 38 days after that day, which was July 23rd, a stormy weather day. 38 is significant because US Bank Stadium equals 38, Minnesota equals 38. Special number, Prince equals 38, death equals 38, Chanhassen equals 38. Non-contact also equals 38, and they said he tore his ACL in a non-contact injury. This injury comes 11 days before the start of the season. Football's a game of 11 on 11. The number 38 has numerology of 11, 3 plus 8. It's all by the numbers. I'll link this video in the description. There's some other important information in this video I didn't cover. Thank you to the subscriber who made this beautiful find. So often in my videos, I ask people to go out and take it the next step further. Whenever people do, magic happens. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.